so good. Okay, so we are going to talk about the anatomy of fabric. All of you should have a paper that looks like this. Will you show me your paper that looks like this? Okay, will you take this paper and fold it burrito style or hot dog style down the middle? Well, there, you weren't listening. Not my fault. Brayden, do you have a paper? You don't have one, they're in the middle table. Okay. Please make sure that your pretty sides are on the inside. They're over there. Okay? And what I need you to do, well, hiccup, with your paper, is I need you to just tear a little bit off of each end, just like this. Okay? And then throw away your scrappy scrap. All right. Oh, the more you practice. All right. Do you have the little ends torn off? Okay. Great. Okay. Congratulations, all of you've just made a piece of fabric. What? Ooh, ah. Okay. I find that when learning about fabric, it is best to have a hands-on example. Okay, so as you look at your fabric, you have two sides, a plain side and a pretty side. Which side do you think is the right side? The pretty side. So take your pen or pencil and you're going to write right, R-I-G-H-T, right side. Right side is the inside or the pretty side. Okay, right side. So that means which side is the wrong side? Plain. The plain side. So on the other, so here's my little right side. I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to write wrong side. Wrong side. Okay, so I've got right and wrong. And now I want you to flip your fabric over to the blank side. Okay? From here on out, I'm going to show you on my board as opposed to on my paper because it's harder for you to see. So, fabric is composed of different parts. We're going to learn these parts because we're going to use them. You guys, I have never been prouder of my teaching self because by the end of the term, I will have taught you everything you need to know. At the beginning of next term, we're going to take your state test, and the rest of the time you're in this class, we're just going to sew. Yeah. Isn't that legit? It's going to be, I think it's really great because then all of your work will just be based on what you get done in class. And you will be accountable every day. You'll get a score every week for what you do. So, okay. If you put in an effort, I'll know. If you do nothing, I'll know. Okay? All right, so at the bottom of your fabric, you have this nice, pretty edge. It's finished. It's so nice. You know what its name is? The selvage. Selvage. So at the bottom of your paper right here, I wrote it extra big so you can see it. This is the selvage. So at the bottom, please write selvage. Right there. Selvage. Excellent. Okay. This side right here represents the cut edge. So I'm going to draw an arrow so you can see it. But cut, edge. Okay. So this is where we cut to measure our fabric. So when I go to the fabric store to buy fabric, My fabric comes on something called a bolt. Like this. Oh my gosh, I'm a winner. Did I tell you I had a scholarship for opera? And I'm not joking about that. Yeah, I thought I was going to be an opera singer when I graduated high school.
That's like iconic. Like, that's such a great story.
All right. Wow. My heart. Okay, next is a bolt of fabric. So when I go to the store and I unroll my fabric from cut edge to cut edge, that's going to tell me how much fabric I have. Okay, so from here to here tells me how much fabric. So if you are doing a project and it tells you you need 2 yards of fabric, it'll be from cut edge to cut edge. Okay, so this is the bolt. All right, next up we have the parts of fabric. And you learned a little bit about this from watching the video last class. If you weren't here, the video is on campus. Sorry. All right, I can do this. Positive vibes my way, please. So, we've got different parts of fabric. The first one, draw an arrow that runs parallel to your selvage. That runs parallel or the same way as your selvage. Okay? When we talk about parts of fabric, this fabric is called the lengthwise grain. Lengthwise grain. Okay? So, lengthwise grain it's important for us to know. The most important things we need to know about it, it runs parallel to the selvage. Okay? Lengthwise grain is the least stretchiest part of the fabric. Why? When cutting out something, this is what's going to run down your body. Okay? The length of your body. Okay? We want this to be the least stretchy, because if you ever bought a shirt and it slowly got longer and longer and longer, and you're like, this shirt does not fit anymore, that means your shirt was not put on the grain. Okay? Gravity will pull things down if they're stretchy. It'll stretch out, right? So we want the least stretchy part to be the part being pulled by gravity. Okay? We want it to be the part that's the sturdiest. So lengthwise goes down your body, runs parallel to the selvage. Will you put your arms like this? Like Jeannie? Have you ever seen? Yeah? No? Okay. Parallel. So lengthwise grain, parallel to the selvage. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Lengthwise grain, parallel to the selvage. Okay. Next up, we're going to draw an arrow that runs parallel to the cut edge or perpendicular to our selvage. Okay? This is called, I'm just going to write it, crosswise grain. Crosswise grain. Okay, the crosswise grain is stretchier than the lengthwise grain. Why? It goes across our body. Crosswise grain goes across our bodies and has to have some stretch, because you guys have bums and shoulders and chests and all those things that your fabric's got to stretch over, so it's got to have a little stretchy stretch. Have you ever chosen the wrong size in a fitting room, especially those who wear dresses, and you're like stuck in the dress, like, yeah, this crosswise grain is not the right way? Yes, so crosswise has a little bit of stretch so it can go across our body. Okay, so let's do crosswise grain perpendicular to the selvage. So let's say that together on 1, 2, 3. Crosswise grain perpendicular to the selvage. Let's do lengthwise again. 1, 2, 3. Lengthwise grain parallel to the selvage. We've got crosswise, lengthwise. All right. Last but not least, we're going to draw a little diagonal arrow.
How do I know that was coming?
Whoa. This is the stretchiest part of the fabric. Does anyone know what it's called? The bias. Yay! B-I-A-S. Bias. because I can't do that. That's not good. So we'll do this. All right, so the biased is the stretchiest because it's got to stretch from corner to corner on your body, right? A lot of stretch. So we're going to do Saturday Night Fever. I'm going to say biased is the stretchiest. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Biased is the stretchiest. The crosswise grain is what to the selvage?
Perpendicular.
The lengthwise grain is?
Parallel.
Excellent. Okay, so now you have your own fabric sample. Will you open your packet to the fabric anatomy page? It should be the second page. All right. So we've made an example. Now we're going to have, this is the first page.
Oh.
Yeah. So now we're going to look at it so you have it written down in 2 places. Do you have your packets? Can I start? Okay, so number 1, what is a bolt? A bolt is cardboard with yards of fabric wrapped around it. I would put cardboard with fabric wrapped around it. Cardboard with fabric wrapped around it. Do you have a question? No? Okay. So that is a bolt of fabric. Some important things to know about a bolt of fabric. On the edge here, it's going to give you some important information. It's going to tell you the name, what it's made out of. This fabric's cotton. And it is not intended for sleepwear for children. You know why it says that?
Because they can suffocate. Oh.
Because it melts.
Oh.
A lot of the time, so with children's sleepwear, has to be made to a certain standard because if caught in a fire, like children's, like they have zippers, they don't want it to get fused to the skin if it burns. So there's certain restrictions on that. It's all part of the world of learning how stuff. Okay, now you know. Things you didn't know you need to know, now you know them. All right, we are familiar with this thing right here called the selvage. The selvage is the what? The machine finished edge, right? It is the finished edge of the fabric. Okay? Sometimes on the fabric, so you can see here with my example, there's like the logos at the bottom for the store. So this says Joann's, okay? But a lot of the time it'll have a logo or a strip at the bottom, okay? This one's a little bit fuzzy, but if I pull on this, do I have strings coming off of it? Oh, yep, I have fluff. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, dang it, I don't know. Okay, well, on our cut edge, I'm going to get a good pull here. So when I pull on this fabric, can you see how it's coming undone? This is called fraying, okay? The selvage does not fray the same way that the cut edge frays, okay? So, the best way to cut fabric, do you want to see? This is my favorite. I need scissors. Where are my scissors? Yeah, I need scissors. I'm going to show you how to rip fabric on the grain. This is like my favorite trick. So, when you cut along the cut edge, it tears along the same grain. So like to get it all on one grain, you just like tear it all the way down. Isn't that crazy? It's so fun. I like tearing fabric, it's a fun time. All right. So now we have our lengthwise grain runs parallel to the, lengthwise grain runs parallel to the, so write that down. Why am I doing this explicitly? Because you have a quiz. Because you have a quiz. This is on the quiz. Yes?
How many questions are on
4.
Oh, okay.
They are mostly multiple choice. I'm going to go over it with you. If you're listening, you'll do well. If you're not listening, you will not.
Unless you already know.
Unless you already know the answers, but do you know characteristics of cotton, linen, and wool?
No.
I'll help you.
What?
Okay, parallel to the selvage. Then we have our crosswise grain. So the lengthwise grain is also called the warp, and the crosswise grain is also called the weft. But I don't like that, so we're just going to learn lengthwise and crosswise. The grain line that runs from selvage to selvage or perpendicular to the selvage is the crosswise, right? Crosswise goes perpendicularly down the selvage. And you thought I wasn't sick. By the time I get to 5th period, my body's like, ugh. And I'm getting my COVID shot tomorrow. I'm gonna be dead. Yeah, I've been tested twice. And I don't have COVID, it's just a really bad cold. I get bad colds, I've gotten a bad cold about this time of year ever since I was little. I just have to be careful because I get bronchitis really easily. So, alright, so that is the parts of fabric. Are you ready to review for your quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, this requires some participation. If you do this, this is how I studied in college for my exams. Okay? So, we know that yes, Andrew. Did it not? Bias is the stretchiest. Right? Bias is the stretchiest. I thought I had done all of it. Is that the last one? Okay. You knew the answer. All right. So, we know that what is parallel to the selvage? Lengthwise. We know that what is parallel to the selvage?
Perpendicular.
Oh, perpendicular to the selvage is the crosswise. The stretchiest part? The bias. The finished part? The selvage. I will be erasing that. Okay. All right. What is the difference between man-made, or dang it, what is the difference between synthetic and natural fibers? Yes.
Synthetic fibers are man-made, but natural fibers come from natural resources like animals, plants.
Good. So this is the first question on your quiz. What is the difference between synthetic and natural? Okay, synthetic comes from chemicals. Synthetic comes from chemicals. Okay, so synthetic, put your fingers in front of you, like this, like a scientist. Synthetic comes from chemicals. Natural, you're going to make a tree, right? Comes from nature. Okay, chemicals, nature. All right, cotton, make a C. The letter C. Okay, so we're going to take this letter C and we're going to turn it into a water droplet. Because cotton absorbs water. Can you say that with me? 1, 2, 3. Cotton absorbs water. Okay. Synthetic comes from? And natural comes from? Nature. Cotton does what? Absorbs water. Okay. Next up we have wool. So make a W. Wool, make a W. Okay, wool keeps us warm. So when we're close together, we're warm. So wool is warm. You say that with me on 3, 1, 2, 3. Wool is warm. Cotton does what? Synthetic comes from? And natural comes from? Okay, next up we have linen. Linen. We're going to do, not like loser. Linen, we're going to do this like Mr. Ham on Toy Story. Money, 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 money. Or Mr. Krabs. But linen is expensive, right? Money. So linen, expensive. Say that with me on 3, 1, 2, 3. Linen, expensive. Wool is what? Cotton does what? And synthetic fibers come from? Yes.
Excuse me, I need to talk to Miss Thompson just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so next up are, so we've done cotton, wool, and linen. The last one is silk. Silk. Okay, silk is smooth. Silk is soft. Silk is comfortable. So, silk is comfortable. Because like when you feel silk, it's so silky and smooth. And this is like drawing an S. So, silk is comfortable. Say that with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Silk is comfortable. Wool is what? Linen is? Cotton. And synthetic fibers come from? Hey! I have to look at my list of man-made. Oh, let's do rayon. Who knows what the letter R in sign languages? What is this? Okay, rayon. So make an R with your fingers. It's like crossing your fingers. Rayon was the first man-made fabric. This kind of looks like a number 1. So rayon is number 1. Okay, can you say that with me on 3? 1, 2, 3. Rayon is number 1. Wool is what? Cotton is what? Linen is? Expensive. Natural fibers come from? And synthetic fibers come from? Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, so nylon, like this is N, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to make 2 N's.
If there are only 4 questions, why are we reviewing?
Because each one of them is what are the properties of synthetic fibers and what are the properties of natural fibers. You have to match them. It's matching. That's why I'm doing this.
Okay.
Do you want to fail or do you want to
I
pass?
was just asking, because there are only 4 questions.
Some of them are multiple choice, multiple options. You think I let you off that easy? Okay, nylon. You're gonna flex your muscles because nylon is strong. Okay, say that with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nylon is strong. And rayon is number 1. Cotton is okay. Then we have, oh gosh, we did rayon. Oh, spandex. So you're gonna make an S, which is this, and you're gonna kind of accordion because spandex is what? Stretchy. Spandex is stretchy. Nylon is what?
Strong.
Wool is?
Warm.
Synthetic fibers come from? Okay. Nylon, rayon. Oh, yes. Acetate. Acetate is comfortable because it's like silk. Acetate is like what? Silk. Good. Acetate is like silk. Then we have nylon, which is? Strong. We have rayon. Linen. Good. Okay. I think this is the last one. I'll double check. But we have acrylic. So you're going to make an A, but you're going to, like acrylic nails. So acrylic is like wool. It keeps us warm. So you're like squeezing it together because wool is warm. So acrylic is like wool. Acrylic is like what? Wool. Acetate is like? Silk. Rayon is?
Number 1.
Spandex is?
Stretchy.
Nylon is?
Strong.
Wool is?
Warm.
Cotton is?
Absorb water.
Good. Silk?
Smooth.
Comfortable. Synthetic comes from? And natural comes from? I think you might be ready for your quiz. Let me double check. And you might remember these forever, you might not. Who knows? But seriously, when I study, oh crap. I have to do my job and I'm not doing it. Okay, let me check your quiz. While I'm checking your quiz, go grab your Chromebook. Go grab your Chromebook. I'm tired. Study for your quiz.